They get a power play, and their whole thing is him he's literally quarterbacking. He's at the top of the blue line with the fucking puck, and I'm going to try to dance around this first guy or just make them lean one way. It's basically like, you get us an open shot. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, episode 58 of the press conference, part 2. We're going to talk NHL, and I'm going to end it off with a couple of golf bets, as the U.S. Open will be starting today's Wednesday, like 4 in the morning. Give it like a couple hours here, short hours. Go ahead.
So just a little Stanley Cup fact. Edmonton and Florida are obviously rematching from last year. Mm-hmm. No team has ever lost back-to-back Cup finals since the Bruins in 77 and 78.
Did they lose to the same team?
Yeah.
They lost the Bruins.
No, they lost back-to-back Cup finals.
But they didn't lose to the same team?
Yeah.
Are you sure there was different teams?
Well, no,
here's my main issue.
Because if that would be crazy if like 50 years apart the same thing happened.
My main issue is with this series right now, Brad Marchand going to the Panthers has given the Panthers a guy that the Oilers, you can't, like what we were talking about with Kristoff, you can't put a guy out there like him who just fucking does something to the game. The
Panthers just play.
Oh, they did. They lost the Canadians both years.
There you go. That's going to happen. History repeats every now and then.
I hate to say this because I think it might, especially after, like the first 2 games, you couldn't split a hair between these 2 teams. It was about who had a good balance in overtime.
Game 3 was a
who made
fucking
mistake.
pecker slapping.
And Game 3, it came out, and the Panthers were under the Oilers' skin. They had like 100 minutes in penalty minutes. You know how many power plays do you think the Panthers had?
I saw that yesterday
7.
on the TV.
I think they had 13 or 11 or 13 or something. And I'm like,
it was like
that is insane.
Over 100 minutes
in penalties. So the Oilers were very frustrated. Now maybe, especially after last year, McDavid screaming at them, they're like, hey, we were down 3-0 last year. It's 2-1. We win Game 4. Like, I think mentally they're better than they were last year, which is obvious. But the Panthers adding Marchand and the way Sam Bennett's playing and just the whole
Sam
thing.
Bennett, number 9?
Oh, yeah.
Dude.
They got Nate Schmidt, too. That guy can pass.
Sam Bennett, I saw a fucking sequence.
Unbelievable.
He ripped 3 people.
Yep.
Fucking just boom, boom, boom. Got a breakaway and fucking scored. I was like, that is hockey.
In the first 2 games, he had 3 goals.
If you're teaching hockey out there, show that clip and go, this is what you do.
Right.
Okay? You fucking make shit happen off the puck, on the puck, whatever, and your opportunities come and you take advantage of it. That's fucking hockey.
My fear, because I want Edmonton to win, is that adding Marchand and a player with that caliber and that mentality and that, what's the word I'm looking for, grit and shit, I don't know if Edmonton has what it takes. With
they already had what it took to beat them, obviously, last year.
Right. And they added probably the grittiest. And that guy, every guy that Marchand goes up against, whether it's like a scuffle, he's like 5'9".
Yeah.
And he's dogging people.
Great player.
Fantastic. So, Skinner had a bad game. High stick side, they kept shooting at and kept scoring. I don't know. I mean, I can't imagine that wouldn't have been figured out before this, but it's big mental situation right now. The problem is McDavid is like, I'm trying to think of, I don't want to say LeBron, but like pretty much like a LeBron where it's like, oh, he just had a game tonight where he's skating 100 miles an hour for every minute.
Steph went 12 of 14 from 3.
And a lot of his games like that, he doesn't even show up on the stat sheet. Like he had a
Hockey's
goal.
Hard to do that.
He had a goal, 2 assists or something like that. It'll be like, he didn't statistically even have a point, but my God, did he put on a fucking show tonight.
Yeah.
When they get a power play, I don't know if you guys have watched the series much, but they get a power play and their whole thing is him he's literally quarterbacking. He's at the top of the blue line with the fucking puck, and I'm going to try to dance around this first guy or just make them lean one way. It's basically like, you get us an open shot.
Yeah.
Which is, pretty
nobody's going to take the puck away from his stick.
No.
Out of his stick.
It's incredible.
And even if they do, he recovers so quickly.
What's interesting, too, is I actually seen it on Reddit a lot, is like, we usually tell people to watch the NHL playoffs because of the physicality. Like, these guys are going to step it up a notch. They're going to be physical. They're going to hit each other. They're going to try to hurt each other. They're going to play through the injuries. Yeah,
right.
And then the people on Reddit are like, they need to cut back on this physicality. Like, these star players are getting hurt. This is way too physical.
People say that?
They complain about the physicality. Like, these refs need to start calling more penalties.
That's
and I'm like, you want the refs to be more involved in the game? I like when refs let people play.
They don't get involved at all.
Refs blow that whistle fucking 4 times the whole game.
And they say that, like, we need better refs. These are the worst refs in sports. And I'm like...
The NHL people on Reddit say that?
Yeah.
That's actually, like, either they're trolling
Or they're not truly fans.
Or they're not. They. Just
I mean, there's a lot of bots on there, and granted, there's 1,000 comments, but these are usually the highest upvoted ones.
Yeah, because
so maybe the good ones are buried, and I don't scroll that far through it.
Maybe they're fans of a team they think, because I will say, Edmonton got away with a lot of would have been penalties probably in the regular season in Game 2, but it's like, A, they lost the game, and B, it's like I don't want it to be something that's like he did cross-check him, but it was after it's this, that, or the other, because it's like Florida knows we can do that back, and it's not going to be a penalty. I don't want it to be every time someone does something, it's a whistle and it's a penalty.
Yeah.
And it's
When
a
have you
commercial.
ever in sports, like especially in hockey, like you want the physicality? When you go to a hockey game, you want the physicality. You want to see some hits. You want to see fights, at least a fight, right? Everyone's like, hopefully they fight tonight. You want to see goals, and the last thing you want to see is more stoppages in play and more whistles blown and more penalties called. That's it.
And less,
Who the
less
fuck wants to see
physicality.
that?
I want to see that more in football and basketball and baseball even.
Right.
Somehow get more physical.
I would like it now if I get
Soccer.
it. Guys are retarded when they're 40 in football and stuff. I like that. I think they all should be. That's what you're making the money for.
It's not even that you should
It's
be
a
that, but
trade-off.
it's like at least you showed that you were out there putting
It's a-
that
it's a-
effort in.
It's a fucking gladiator sport. So
Yeah.
is hockey. So
That's
is boxing. So is UFC.
It's the same thing as like Rampage Jackson saying John Jones' oblique kick should be illegal. And it's like, well, why wouldn't me punching you in the face be illegal?
How can we trim down these injuries? It's like you could just stop fighting. That's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
You could stop playing hockey if you don't want to get hurt or miss a tooth or something.
Yeah. How can we get rid of all these dental injuries in hockey? Don't go on the ice.
I
hockey.
saw a video the other day, and I know this is kind of known. I don't know how many people don't know this. I watched a video from like the 70s. Not one person had a helmet on.
Helmet on our mask.
The
Not the goalie.
Did not have the helmet. or
You seen a
mask
picture of that one goalie
on. Yes.
where he's just
Freddy
got
Krueger.
Yeah, he just got ripped in the face by fucking pucks.
So it was during Celtic City. I can't. What's his name? Bobby Orr.
Bobby Orr from the
Scored
Bruins.
They said like Boston was a hockey town, so like the Celtics won the championship, and there was like not that many people at the parade, and the Bruins won it the next year, and there was like fucking literally 100 times the people there, and they showed the highlight of the guy scoring the game-winning goal, and all guys jumped on him on the bench. Not one person in that whole arena that was playing had a helmet on. I was like, these guys are out of their fucking
Insane.
minds.
Now here's the thing: with health and safety and stuff, they should have the gear that they have on today.
Oh, they should. That was
But still,
insanity.
like fucking light people up out there. You see, insane. Like
Yeah.
light them up.
Yeah.
The one thing with the Oilers, they got
Because
Vander Kane.
if I played, I'd have the full fucking screen mask
It's
on
hard
my
to
face.
if they made me play now, yes, but I feel like if you grew up playing hockey,
You
Oh,
wouldn't be
yeah.
doing that.
because you're just used to that.
It's easy to say. Like I think about like if I was in jiu-jitsu, I just saw this on Joe Rogan today. He wears a cup because he's been kneading the balls a lot. I was like, oh, I'd wear a cup too. I'm like, but I didn't used to wear a cup in football, basketball, baseball, any sport I played, no matter how physical or not. I never wore.
Yeah,
it.
anytime I roll-
snuck the cup out.
Me, like Pat and I would never
Shin
wear a
guards
cup,
popped off.
but Pat and I aren't going out there to try to be like dominate in jiu-jitsu. We're like, we're just trying to do this and get better, but also like we don't gain anything from fucking going all out here.
When I used to catch for baseball, if I had a choice, I would only wear the helmet.
You didn't wear a chest protector? You sound like an idiot.
I've stopped like 3-4 balls from 90-something plus mile per hour pitchers in the dirt with my chest. Doesn't really hurt.
It's not about hurting. It's just why would you not wear? That's like saying,
Just a bit more comfortable.
would you wear cleats?
Yeah.
Shin guards?
I would like. No, I wouldn't want to wear shin guards.
That's just yeah. I could see that it's not comfortable to wear that, but I think not wear it. If someone fouls a ball off and hits you in the heart, that could do some potential damage.
Yeah, that's true. Guess I didn't think about the foul. I would wear a cup. Definitely wear a cup.
What do you mean?
At catcher,
You didn't wear a cup?
I didn't. But if I didn't have any gear, I'd wear a cup. In my mind, the gear helps the cup, the nuts.
I mean,
There's a little flap at the bottom, right?
that will not
It's
stop.
not doing anything.
I know.
But mentally, I have all this gear. I
That
don't
is
want
so-
to.
that is
I don't
a
want.
very
I'm like, I don't want to add the cup.
I think this is one of those things where he knows it's illogical, but it's just what he does.
That's for
No,
sure.
I'm okay with that.
It's like people that are like-
to me, that doesn't make sense.
You know, people are like, hey, look both ways before you cross the street. It's like you don't wear a seatbelt.
But
And it's
honestly,
like,
I'm not haven't played
I
the
got it.
sport in a while, so I think if I was playing the sport actively and like you were like, hey, you don't have to wear anything, I probably wouldn't wear the cup.
Seth said he does not wear seatbelts on airplanes. Ever. So he never puts his seatbelt on an airplane. And I asked him, do you wear a seatbelt in your car? He said, every time I drive. And I understand more mathematically you're more likely to get in an accident in your car, but I was telling Billy about a story. There was a turbulence in a plane that was bad. Only one guy died. He was the only guy without a seatbelt on. It had nothing. It has nothing to do with the plane crash. The fucking pilot could sneeze and hit the fucking thing. and turn the plane, and you fall and
Rocket
break your
it.
neck.
This shoe, and he just fucking tens it to 700
No,
miles
like,
per hour.
or you just hit like I'm
Jolt
saying
something.
you hit the steering wheel.
You've never been in a plane and
percent.
it kind of dropped a little bit. You're
Right.
not wearing a seatbelt. You're fucking going.
A woman could be flying.
That guy broke his he broke his neck and died.
That's tough.
So the whole seatbelt thing, to me, it's not more of a crashing thing, but that's just going back to
I mean,
equipment people wear.
I'm not wearing the seatbelt in case we crash into a mountain.
The
Right.
seatbelt on the plane is not even uncomfortable.
No,
No.
that's my whole point.
It doesn't have to be that tight either for it to, if you shoot up, to
It doesn't
catch
have to
you.
be
That's
it
just-
almost just has to be strapped in.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it would.
I always put it on whenever this light's on, just because I don't want to fucking your seatbelt.
If I'm in a window, I just sit down there and just throw it on there.
I don't think it's saving my life. No, I mean obviously it has in that circumstance and whatnot.
In that circumstance.
But like, it's not a big deal to
If
wear.
it crashes into a helicopter, I don't think the seatbelt's saving me at any time soon.
If anything, you could argue that if it crashes, like if it crashes, because you don't. People think like, oh, it's gonna crash, and it's like, dude, you're gonna be in full panic. That thing might buckle to where you can't get it off. So like, you know what I mean? Like it could, a screw could break in that seatbelt, and now you can't get it off.
Yeah.
You could potentially have gotten out of
And I
the
can't have a
seat.
weapon on the plane to cut it.
Right.
Like, in a car, I can at least, if I have my knife, I can cut the seatbelt. I don't have that either in my car, but
Do you see
Regardless,
that?
back to hockey. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, did you see the Delta plane that was upside down?
No.
They crashed and went upside down. No one died. I saw videos. People were fucking dangling. Like,
Well, yeah, they don't have a choice.
They offered every passenger $30,000. If they're willing to give everyone $30,000, imagine what you could get. I hope no one accepted that. I would have. They would have had to drag me out of. I wouldn't have talked, walked, moved until I got $1 million in my bank account.
Do you think if that happened and you didn't move and they were pulling you out and you had puked and shit all over yourself, that would add monetary
I
value?
actively would have been doing that too.
That's what I'm saying. Do you think that would add monetary value?
PTSD, yes. I'm gonna say there's video footage of me with puke and shit all over myself.
bowel
They pulling
movements
you
don't
out
work
and the
anymore.
Shit just dropping off your back.
And I would be actively pissing on the puke.
That's what I'm saying. Dude, I'm just asking if you think if I was like, while I
They
was
would
on
be
that
dragging
plane,
me
that
out
happened.
thinking this guy's gonna own. They're gonna be renamed Delta after this
Yeah.
guy. Fuck.
I just don't know if like what actually gains you monetary value. in
My
these
mindset
situations.
is just if they're like, hey, we'll give you 30,000. We're sorry. It's like, oh, I can get a lot more if you're willing to give me 30.
well, that's the
But
thing
you
is,
don't want to like blow your.
I would
load.
tell everybody else to sign it and be like, okay, now it's just us talking
Me
here.
and you. What were you gonna really give? Because I'll take it.
What were you willing to give each person?
You say you have $1 million left over. I'd be like, will you give me?
They're like, well,
500?
this company's worth $7 billion. We were gonna easily give you $1 million each and be fucking fine because you guys could have fucking sued us out of our
Yeah,
ass.
there's 100 people on the plane.
Yeah, they send those people in there with the number like start at 30,000. We're willing to do 500,000, but try not to go over 100,000. Like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
So it's like just depending on where you want to be.
If we look at, which I should have had up, I have golf up, so I'm sorry.
Delta is worth $33.7 billion.
37 what?
$33.7 billion.
Wow.
So I will
I
say
mean-
this: I'd rather be in my financial situation now than risk being in the plane that flipped upside down and crashed. Though.
Right.
I'll take the plane.
You sound like an asshole. For the series price, the Panthers are now minus 255, Oilers plus 215. I feel like that's a pretty high adjustment for, like, the series started, they were basically a coin flip.
Yeah. Well, the next game's at home, and how did the home game go for the Panthers last time?
Right, but hockey's such a sport where it's like the Oilers could come out and win 7-1.
But they're saying if this team wins, if you get them now at these odds, and the Panthers win, they've practically won the series 3-1.
Right.
So now, if it goes back to Edmonton 3-1, it's going to be minus 500. It's going to be minus 600.
Yeah, probably.
So it's like these are pretty decent odds. This is your last chance again on Florida.
Oh,
I mean, it's not your last chance if Edmonton wins Game 4, but it's your last chance if Florida wins.
Yeah, I mean,
You know what's a good bet? You know what bet I was so good, and I was so confident in it, and you will recall how confident I was, is when Alcaraz just beat Sinner in the final, and he was plus 400 to win in 4 sets and plus 500 to win in 5 sets. I felt Alcaraz would win. Now, it is kind of a coin toss with those two, but Alcaraz has beat him the last 4 times they've played now. And I told you, I was like, don't even bet 3 sets, because you were like, 3 sets I could bet 2 and win with all 3. And I was like, no, he's not.
I just wanted to guarantee profit.
I was like, he is not winning in 3.
But then I thought, I was like, there's no way he's sweeping it.
I said he's going to win in 5. You could not even bet the 4. I said that to you.
Yeah.
But
You're a very good bettor when it's not your money.
when it's not my money, I'm the best bettor in the world.
It is.
And I'm like, wow. Because you said it, and I was like, I could throw 100 on both of those and be happy because I really feel Alcaraz will win, and it
Yeah,
will not
until
be
it
in
was
3.
5-3 in the 4th set, and he was down 40 love.
Yeah.
On with
people go, you could say that right there and go, so you're confident in that bet after that happened? It's like, well, I mean, I was so confident before.
No, but that's why I put it on. I don't usually bet something unless I'm obviously, in my head, I'm guaranteeing that there's like, if it loses, there's just something that happened. But him winning in 5 sets was pretty much what you would have expected to happen. I just thought if he comes out and if he played the way he played all the time, he had a good chance of beating him in 4 sets.
Yeah.
But anyway, we'll finish this up real quick with predictions for the series. Who do you got? How many games?
Florida 6.
So back home they win it.
Yep.
Got Edmonton in 7.
Yeah, Edmonton in 7. But see, this and the NBA, for me, strictly, I'll be completely honest, I am picking these with my heart. If we were counting this in any sort of record book, I would take Florida. But I want Edmonton, so I'm just going to, I feel like I'm going to put the good energy out there for them.
I like it.
I think McDavid's good enough where he's not going to lose back-to-back Stanley Cups.
It's not a one-man sport, though.
The hard part is that if Bobrovsky is just a fucking wall, it doesn't matter how good anybody is. It's been, there's something on your nose right there.
Yeah, your offense has to be better than his goalkeeping.
And it's generally when it's a goalie that's hot,
Yeah.
it doesn't happen.
And hockey, if a goalie's hot, you're pretty much fucked.
You have anything else for hockey?
Nope.
No? So I have a couple bets for the U.S. Open really quickly. I do think
Which U.S. Open?
for
golf. It starts tonight.
I wasn't being a smart ass.
No, I know you
There's
were.
some people who want it.
But I do think at pretty much every event you should just take Scotty Scheffler. He's plus 275, which is insane.
Is he like the first since Tiger to be plus in the tournament? Or has he been plus?
Plus
No,
is
minus, you mean?
Minus, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, he will be the first if that happens, but I think there was a Masters where Tiger was like minus 170 or 150.
where
But
it's
I
like-
will say, and I'm not being a dick, the golfers now, there's probably 10 to 20 guys who could win this U.S. Open. When
You know
Tiger
whose
played,
tournament
there was
this?
like 5.
You know whose tournament this is, though?
My guys.
Bryson DeChambeau.
Yeah. Bryson plays well.
I'm
Scotty
upset
Scheffler's-
that he's second in the odds because I wish
Scheffler's never won one.
No, he hasn't. This is the toughest. Like, this average scoring is going to be, like, there's going to be a lot of shots where it's like, oh, I feel like I could play on this course. And it's like, no, it's making these guys look like this. You would be absolutely fucked. But I don't think anybody's wrong if you're putting money on Scheffler to win the tournament. People are like, oh, at his odds, I'm like, well, he wins every tournament. So, but the two guys that I like, I'm always down for Brooks Koepka. He is plus 5,000. So I like Brooks Koepka a lot. And then I also like this tournament, Hideki Matsuyama plus 4,500.
Give me John Rahm plus 1,200.
John Rahm, see, for him, it's just the odds. I
The
like
odds are too high for a guy that most likely won't win it.
Right.
But I do like John Rahm. I do like the way he plays.
I like John Rahm a lot,
I think
too.
he can put a good bat on a ball.
Yeah.
So give me him for plus 1,200. Maybe at the 10.
And then two other bets I like. I like Hideki first round against Ludwig Oberg. He's plus 100. Ludwig is minus 128. And the other one I like Xander Schauffele head-to-head against Bryson DeChambeau at plus 135.
Interesting.
Yeah. I feel like, God, Phil Mickelson, man. I mean, just give me one more. That'd be sick. I just feel like Xander is, I don't know why, because he hasn't been super great this season, but I feel like he's going to come out in the first round and be able to outscore Bryson, which isn't crazy to ask, especially at plus money. Anything else for any sports-wise besides football or
Good to go.
basketball? Bill?
I'm good.
All right, well, yeah, U.S. Open starts tonight. We got Game 4 of the NHL Stanley Cup Final. Who you got Game 4 then? You're taking
Florida.
Panthers. Bill, you're going Edmonton.
I got
probably.
Florida, Edmonton, Florida.
Unless you think they're going to go down 3-1 and then win.
No,
2-3.
Edmonton. I have winning tonight.
I think Edmonton wins Game 4 as well. But
I think it's a nice bounce-back game.
yeah, I think this is just a
They're more in control.
right. I just think the only
Refs are going to be like, let's not be such dicks this time.
the refs.
Yeah. And calling so many penalties, they're going to be a little nicer.
That if you didn't watch Game 3, they looked
No.
a bit out of shape. They were out of their
No,
heads.
Edmonton was just fucking
They were
out of
acting
whack.
crazy. Yeah.
No, I don't think it was like the refs should have held their whistle. I think Edmonton
No,
was
they were
in their head.
egregious.
Refs are never really bad. In
No,
hockey,
it was like
right?
when Edmonton got into Aiden Hill's fucking head, he kept hitting the guys in front of him. Like, you're letting them. They're winning the game right now.
Right. That's kind of what happened yesterday.
Yeah,
2 days
exactly.
ago. I am annoyed at them, though, and I think it's partially because of the NBA. It's taking 2 days off in between. Let's get the series fucking over with. Right. It's not the NHL that's doing it, but it's like, hey, why would we be on the same night?
No.
But
You
you guys want to
see-
do 2 days in between.
Actually, I did
each
want to
fucking
bring
game.
up something. Did you see it was somebody brought up is Bettman the NHL commissioner, or he's based?
No, that's
Gary Bettman's NHL commissioner,
yeah.
correct?
Other one, what's that guy's name? Rob Manfred.
Manfred is baseball, and they
Fuck
brought
that
up and fuck Adam Silver. They brought up the fact that Florida doesn't have an income tax, so it's unfair because they can sign, like, essentially say, yeah, you could sign a larger contract in LA, but after taxes, you're making less money and shit like that. And he was like,
Every sport.
and I think he brought up, he goes, well, you didn't bring that up until Florida made it to back-to-back Stanley Cups.
Right. Well, but Tampa Bay is also in Florida, and they were in.
How many Stanley Cups as well?
Years ago too. But
I mean, it is what it is.
I mean, beyond.
What do you want
so
to
they
do?
take
It's
off
not
Florida's
Florida's fault.
California.
Yeah.
Would you rather live in
Keep
Miami
God out
or
of
LA?
California.
Right. I'm just saying. If people are complaining about that, so he wants to move the teams out of California. Like, there are people that's still a desirable area. It's just a matter of people. I think now the tax thing, has that come up more like recent, like lately?
I think it's
I feel like
been
that
more
wasn't a
recent thing.
conversation until like 5 years ago, unless I was not old enough to recognize what people were talking about.
No, I feel like it's pretty, like, maybe within the last 10 years, people have brought up, like, don't forget how much you're, like, you sign a contract in LA, how much of taxes. I think actually who really started bringing it up was UFC fighters.
Yeah, that's
Like, certain guys were like, I don't ever fight in New York. And it's like, why? It's like, because I don't get most of my check. But if I fight in Las Vegas, I get all of my shit.
pretty much, yeah. Like, probably double.
Was it Sean O'Malley that said it?
Yeah. And then he just
O'Malley
fought
said
in Jersey
he's,
and got his
he's
ass
like, I love fighting in fucking Vegas.
Vegas. But he is from close to here, so
Arizona.
that's all easy for him. Yeah. Nothing else? All right. See you after the final. Go Oilers. I should wear my Connor McDavid jersey. God damn it.
Fucking dumb fat ass.